may involve adult themes and strong language. This is The Curse of Penance RPG.
Hello, and welcome to episode 7 of The Curse of Penance RPG. Who are you? What are you? And in the week where we have to denounce Shania from anything to do with Curse of Penance RPG for any sort of future state, who do you think should replace her? Starting with Karen.
Well, howdy, y'all. I am Karen Lebowski. I am single, looking to mingle. Maybe bum a cigarette off of somebody. Oh, what the fuck accent was that? Jesus Christ. I am currently stalling for time while I think of a musician.
Doesn't have to be a musician, it could be anyone.
Anyone that we could make fun of.
No, it's anyone that you think could replace Shania.
Could replace Shania in our hearts.
Yes. So when they come back in a future episode, maybe they'll be this person. Who knows?
Okay, Owen Wilson.
Oh no! Please no!
You're walking through a dark dungeon. You hear footsteps behind you and you hear,
Wow!
Because
Wow.
Owen Wilson is a really easy
Wow.
target, that's why. Please don't sue Owen Wilson's lawyers.
I'm not sure that Owen Wilson listens to the podcast.
What if
I think
he
he
might
does.
know.
He's a big
They
fan.
might start.
Yeah. Maybe we should just insult a bunch of celebrities so people tweet at them like, hey, they insulted you on this podcast.
Isn't that what you do on Twitter?
What, desperately crave celebrities' attention? Absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes it works.
Meg.
Hi, I'm Amy. I play Meghren. I'm our human rogue who is pretty good with her fists when the rolls are right. She has 2 fantastic daggers, also a squeeze box, which is her new favourite instrument. She's starting a band, hopefully, with Ozmand, who will hopefully get a guitar at some point, and they can start their little band. And Rosie. Yeah, Rosie's joining. This is really hard to... Who could replace Shania? Oh, God.
Don't say Gareth Matthews.
I don't know, Prince, if he was alive, but we can't have Prince.
I mean, he went to us.
The ghost of Prince.
But then Shania would have to turn into a man, but...
But one Owen Wilson isn't.
Hey, we can be an inclusive podcast.
Yeah!
We could, yeah.
Approach it in
Yeah.
a sensitive way.
This is
Wait,
very
we
Prince
are.
would love that.
We are very good at approaching in a sensitive way, I feel.
Okay. AJ.
Hey, I'm AJ. I'm playing Ozmand, a tiefling in search of a guitar, and current owner of a really sweet waistcoat. I'm looking to start a kitchen with all the various cutlery that I'm accumulating on our adventures, and it's going pretty well so far. I've got a bread knife and a spoon. As for replacing Shania, that's a tough one. I mean, if we're not limiting it to female singers, is this something that, Nikoli, you're going to have to do the voice for?
Humour me, maybe. I can't do Shania Twain, so it's not exactly going to be any worse.
Okay, well, it's not a huge jump to William Shatner then.
Osmond, I think I know where the people have gone.
My god,
Hi!
Mr. Sulu, it's a guitar.
I can't do it.
Can we start a Star Trek-based RPG podcast where the Dungeon Master speaks entirely in Shatner?
Oh god, yes.
That could be your next that could be your
Initiative.
next side project, Belry.
I love Star Trek. Can I be Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Anyway, Matt.
My name is Tubbs. I had a last name, but I'll be honest, I've forgotten it in all the excitement.
Groundswell.
And I am playing a necromancer who finally has a magic staff. I also picked up some sweet loot in last week's adventure, and some have called me the handsome one of the group. And I'll be honest, every time we said Shania, I thought I was hearing Shearer, and I thought we meant legendary Premier League footballer Alan Shearer, and it now explains why she didn't sound like a Geordie.
So the final choices for this Who to Replace Shania contest are Owen Wilson, Prince,
Ghost of Prince.
William Shatner, and Alan Shearer.
Is this a public vote thing?
Yes,
That might
fuck
be.
it, now it's a public vote.
Last week we had Enrique.
Oh yes, the winner of the horse contest is Enrique.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Hey!
So, the horse
The
is now
sentence
called
has never
Enrique,
been uttered
spelt
before.
with lots of K's and an E and a Y. It looked so
Meg
painful when I
spelled
wrote it
it.
down.
Meg spelled it because she's dyslexic.
You, right, as a young lad growing up in the northeast of the country, I have no fucking idea how much I heard about Alan fucking Shearer all the time. And I absolutely hate football.
As,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
as someone who grew up in Scotland, I too couldn't give a fuck about the number of times I heard about the cunting England football team.
I mean, you're all north from me, so, you know.
But as the plot
That wasn't
horse
even a
slowly
vote.
drags its carcass forward. What
I'm gonna-
happened last week?
Previously on the Curse of Penance RPG.
Last week we all got a lesson in etiquette.
We did. We got chased by a weird Frankenstein monster who lives in a castle and killed all of the little people things.
No, we
No.
saved one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, mongrel men.
No,
Didn't
that's
we
the
name the mongrel men?
Yeah. We named him Edmund.
yeah. Because we gave him another name, he wasn't keen. And we finally named our horse after many weeks of deliberation and calling him different names.
So we've got our horse Enrique.
Yep.
And we've got our Noel Edmonds.
Yes, we've got our Noel Edmonds. We also have the painting, which I can't remember what we called him.
Timothy.
Timothy. Thank you, I'm glad someone listens.
We've got quite a supporting cast going on.
Basically, yeah. Alan Shearer sadly walked into a lake and died.
No, she didn't like Owen Wilson Jesus across the lake.
Yeah, Alan Shearer went full Jesus and walked into the lake away from the statue of this weird saint guy where everyone's got like necklaces with him on and they're like, hey, he'll protect you. Turns out he protects you by sending you into water to like grab a creepy hand that then pulls you under.
Mr. Spark, it's a creepy hand. I think I'm gonna reach for it.
Oh yeah, that's what
You
happened
reach
to
through,
William
Captain.
Shatner.
You can have a fist fight in some sand.
Oh my.
A really
Maybe-
slow fist fight.
Maybe she's like a siren and that's why we all see her differently.
Maybe.
Maybe
But
what I
siren-
desire most in the world is Alan Shearer.
Sirens are usually ones that pull other people into the lake.
Yeah, but they lured them onto rocks and then destroyed their ships.
Yeah, they'll probably just do gongs.
Well, they were meant to also be like, they would appear as a vision of whatever you were like into at the time to lure you onto the thing.
So were you into
So-
Alan Shearer?
Apparently so. Just, oh man. Anyone who can score 33 goals in a Premier League season.
Alan
Probably
Shearer
big old
didn't
difference.
score any goals. He was the manager, wasn't he? Wasn't he?
No.
Oh god!
It's obvious that I'm not really into football.
I'm not into football, and even I know that.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care enough.
And that's what happened last time.
Yeah,
Alan Shearer scored 43 goals.
33 goals.
It was a spectacular episode.
It was.
Yeah, last week
And it-
Alan Shearer scored lots of goals and then morphed into Prince.
Wow.
Anyway, so last week you ended up going inside the Burgomaster's house. The thunder and lightning storm had started.
Wasn't it the Duke of
It was the Baron, sorry, not the Burgomaster.
Baron? Yeah, the Baron
It
of
was the Baron's house, not the Burgomaster's house, sorry.
What actually is a burgomaster?
A Burgomaster is a Eastern European name for mayor.
Right.
So, you enter the Baron's house,
Yes,
because it's pouring with rain and thunder and lightning outside.
very, very
And-
friendly.
He tells you to tell him more about the reanimate, so he knows how to defeat it. What do you do?
I feel like your weapon has got to be doing so much bad etiquette that it physically implodes. Like, it can't physically manage it. So let me hand you over to Karen, and she'll be able to advise.
Karen is just like not paying attention and smoking a cigarette in the corner.
See? Number one.
Just keep
Pay
it out of the
attention when
way.
someone's talking.
So he asks you, why did your friend get pulled through the lake?
We were hoping you could tell us that. She was
Yeah,
really
that-
obsessed with that weird statue of the weird saint guy.
Yeah, that didn't seem to be related to the etiquette monster.
Yeah, to be honest, the whole thing seemed very catawampus. That is a word I have been waiting so long to use.
What does it mean though, Karen?
It means weird or twisted.
Catawampus.
Cattywampus. I found it in my list of southern slangs. And I've been waiting for an opportunity for what is this, 8 weeks to use it?
It's week 7, yeah.
That's almost 8.
7 is basically 8. I'm a professional statistician, I can tell you that for sure. On a scale of like 1 to a billion, it is. So, basically, she loved this statue of this saint guy who everyone seems to love, and then that was the last time we saw her. After that, we then saw her walking out on the lake being all like messianic, and then getting pulled under by her hand. So, what the fuck lives in that lake?
It's like that story of that narcissist guy. Except instead of a mirror, it was a statue of some guy. And she sunk instead of starved to death.
I've got an idea. I've got that history book. Will we check it out and just make sure that there's no like myths or anything that might actually be working around?
Do you know what? That's why we pay you the big bucks in CSF. I knew one of us was smart.
As you,
What do
as,
you mean one of us?
as you start flicking through the book, a lady in a long red robe appears through the side door of the Baron's house, and in her arms she has a very quiet child that looks incredibly like purple and, you know, that kind of unique colour that brand newborns are.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah,
No, I haven't
it's
actually
like
seen a new baby.
Oh man, this poor child. If he's like any other child in this part of the woods, he's not gonna have a good life.
Well, you better save that while he's quiet. He'll be a whole mess of trouble for you when he gets older.
The woman walks up to the Baron and says, I'm afraid that Lady Dinkley's child is one of the unfortunates. And the Baron sighs, and you see him walking over to a small desk and taking out a rather large ledger. And he seems to scroll down it with his finger till he comes to the end, and then he says, I'm afraid this child will be a forester. Tell him that it'll be known as F7. The
What?
woman sort of nods and quietly leaves.
So, what the fuck was that?
The Baron turns to you and says, how much do you know about Barovia?
We ain't from round here, so you best tell us everything.
Is
Where
there
is
a value
Barovia?
less than none?
Oh, is Barovia here? Is this
We-
Barovia?
We know that everybody who's in the fog can't leave.
And there's a creepy ass windmill that old ladies used to live in before someone kneecapped them.
By the way, if you're looking to buy a plot of land, we happened upon a deed.
We also heard rumors of it was some guy who wants to be a magician that's made the fog.
Oh, a sorcerer, yeah.
Yeah, sorcerer. or
And there's
something.
an unwed, like, lord of the land who's in charge of most of this stuff, and he must be pretty old because that was 100 odd years ago.
Confirmed bachelor.
Her brother also told us that something was hunting their dad.
Yeah, and there's some
And
kind
it
of
was
beastie that's
kind
going around.
Yeah.
The-
Also,
Oh.
like women just walk on the surface of the water and get dragged under.
Yep, and something's trying to desecrate all the temples and kill all the priests. Some of that's us, I'm not gonna lie, but but something else is also got it out for the priests.
And I
The-
can't find a single luthier.
And I'm yet to raise a zombie.
The Baron sighs, offers you a drink, and offers to
Oh.
tell you about Barovia.
And kids are weird because I've yet to see a kid, I think, apart from the fat round ones, and no one looks after their kids.
Well, there's a kid there, Tubbs.
Yeah, but it sounds like he's just been, like, sentenced to death or some weird shit.
I mean, forester in death. Chopping down trees.
The Baron
His name is F7.
The Baron shoots back the remainder of his glass of rum, and he pours himself another one, and he begins to tell you about Barovia. He tells you that there's an ancient curse on the land, and the outskirts of the region are covered in this thick green mist that you can't leave. It chokes you if you try and leave, and you just end up dying. But the other thing about it is that all the souls who die within Barovia cannot leave Barovia either. They are reborn into empty vessels.
Oh. So
What?
that baby's not really a baby?
No, that baby is a baby, I'm afraid. It's just my friend there, the lady in the red robe. She has been trained for many years. She's a seer, and she's been trained in this mystical art of being able to tell whether a child has a soul or not. And if they are born without a soul, then they have no emotion, they respond to no stimulus, they don't cry if they experience pain. We've realised this in Kresk many years ago. We found that those born without souls, they would die very early in their teens. They would basically die from frostbite, from not feeling the cold, or they would starve from not eating, or they would wander lost and forget time. It's only after we began looking after these people more and more and putting them into work details with people who did have souls that we began to see how many of our people don't have souls.
That's impressive. Scary.
Have you
So,
considered putting them to work in government?
Do you mean like as desks?
He tells you that the soulless, there's no nice way of calling them it, but they are just soulless vessels. They started as about 5% of the population. They're now, over the last few generations, have grown to almost 50.
So basically, when you die, your soul like disappears.
It lingers in Barovia as a region, and any sort of time, it can be 6 months, it can be 10 years apparently, according to what some of the seers have told me. The soul just lingers and is reborn into a new vessel, completely at random at anywhere in Barovia.
So, like, if you got too many, like, vessels, and I'm doing, like, air quotes, why not, like, make less so that all of the vessels get, like, souls?
Do you mean curb the population?
I mean, I wouldn't put it in those sort of terms.
He again sort of shoots back his rum and then says, "We thought about this, but equally there is something consuming the souls in this land. Doesn't consume it at a quick rate, but it does eat several hundred a year.
I
And
see.
So, you
does
guys
eat-
is fucked.
it does eat several hundred a year, and eventually we will run out of souls, I guess, but for the moment, you can see the ones that have souls when you look around. They are the ones who are more vibrant, thinkers. They don't just do the manual labour, they think about how to do it, and they talk, they express. The soulless can't be musicians or, bards of any kind. Their life is one of generic labour and thoughtless tasks.
Now that cuts down on my competition.
So the soulless could not operate a squeeze box.
You could tell one to open and close it, but it wouldn't do much with it apart from that. They can't carry a tune.
So we've devised a test.
That's good. That's
I've
good.
done a music theory exam.
Have them sing When the Saints.
Or some other piece of music that is in the public domain.
Is Happy Birthday still in the public domain, or does
It is,
someone
yeah.
know?
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah, there was a court ruling. Those old women who were claiming to have held the copyright all this time got struck down. Not literally. Obviously.
The striking of old women, it's as if you're in Curse of Penance RPG.
The judge murdered them with his gavel.
Finally, we are free. Happy birthday to our
It
children.
had to be done.
So, basically he tells you that now what they do is they make sure that any soulless they find born in Kresk are put in these work parties from a very early age so they can be looked after. Because even if their population is becoming more of these soulless workers. At least they're getting fed and looked after.
So basically, their souls are floating around in ether, and something eats them, and then, like, do they eat normal people's, like, they eat our souls, or would we have to die first?
I assume you have to die first, but I don't know much about it. You'd be better speaking to my seer about this, but she's very busy.
I mean, to be completely honest, I'd rather not get eaten at all, if avoidable. I think we should maybe find a way out of this hellhole. Not that I was planning on staying.
I mean, Karen, you've been breathing in toxic smoke for, 51 years now, I guess? So
I mean,
you
how
should probably be fine walking through the smoke.
I mean, I'm what, like 58? So like 59 years?
I listened to it back. You have one when you said you're 53, and one that you say you're less than 50 before I picked up on it, so I don't know what age you are.
The joke was that Karen's mother smoked while she was pregnant. That's not much of a joke, that's just a joke.
That's just sad.
Classic Barovian parenting.
Classic Karen.
Classic Barovian parenting.
Maybe that's the secret. Maybe we're all actually from Barovia, we've just come back.
Yeah,
Oh.
we've all been brainwashed, or we've got amnesia or something.
Karen does not know her age after all the lying. Yep, this is very true.
Right, so something's going around eating souls and desecrating temples, and something ate Alan Shearer.
Right, there's things going around stealing souls. What else?
People eating Alan Shearers.
So,
People eat.
well,
Have
there's
you
something
eaten
about
Alan
the
Shearer recently?
souls. I
So
don't-
I'm assuming people eating Alan Shearer other than our Alan Shearer.
Yeah, that's the point. So, has anyone else gone missing from the city or spotted walking across the lake?
The
That storm
Baron
was-
says no.
I mean, that was a weird old storm. Have you had that kind of storm before, or...?
Nothing this violent in a long time. As
When was the last
basically the
time?
storm is like rattling against the windows and everything. It's a really violent storm.
When was the last time you had a storm this bad?
Oh, several generations ago.
Okay.
It's documented in the town of Kresk, the sort of history of the town.
And there's like no local myths about like a lake hand.
A lake hand?
A hand that's like in the lake.
A hand in the
Pulls-
lake?
Yeah, and it like pulls people down.
Well, we've found a few bodies in there over the years, but
Were they all women?
no, they were all just in the lake. I assume they drowned.
No,
So-
but were they all women?
Oh, I have no idea. We can consult the royal records and find out if you wish.
Might
I don't
have to
know
go to the
about
library.
women, but they weren't very good at swimming.
I knew it was coming, and yet I still laugh.
Yep,
You're
that's
right
it.
there, Karen.
I'm going to hold up the necklace with the picture of was it Saint Markovich, or did I make
Saint
that up?
Markovia.
That was Saint
Saint
Markovich.
Malkovich.
Saint John Malkovich,
Saint
patron saint of
Markovich.
Pirates RPG.
So, can you tell us a bit about this Saint Markovia?
He's just the saint of the land, really. He arrived here, he built that abbey, and he blessed the lake.
Because I'll be honest, the abbey is fucked. People are disappearing in the lake. And the last thing we saw Alan Shearer doing was being like, man, that's a sexy ass statue. Like, weirdly attracted to the statue.
Yeah, and that lake
Yeah.
don't seem all that blessed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what did he bless the lake with?
Well, he was a saint. He just sort of went blah and blessed it. That's
Yeah.
what saints do.
No, blur sounds to me more like a vampire than a
I'm imagining this saint just kind of waving his hands, going blur like Tommy Cooper.
Cool, right, so we need to
So-
solve out what the fuck's going on in the lake.
As you're having this discussion, you hear a knock at the door, and a very soaked-through messenger appears to tell the Baron that that's the wine delivery arrived, and this will be the last delivery from the winery.
Dibs on a bottle.
You don't say. Maybe we should stay and discuss things for a little while.
Why is it going to be the last delivery from the winery?
The messenger tells you that the winery is closing because the elder of the wine, who's called Markotov, has unfortunately been killed in a very strange incident.
Well, guys, you know,
Standard way people.
An incident, you say?
That's very tragic, but you don't happen to have any like stock you need to get rid of on the cheap, do you?
The messenger just says he's just delivering the delivery to Kresk. If you want to go and speak to the winery, you can go and speak to the winery.
Well, why don't we go investigate that winery in the capacity of CSI Barovia?
I feel that's a good idea. This is spooky circumstances, and I feel like we have really developed in that way. And I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure what I can do anymore apart from investigate.
Yeah, we might find some clues.
But what about the thing that's stealing people's souls?
Maybe it's related. I mean, that sounds like a bigger problem. What kind of suspicious circumstances were they?
The messenger just sort of shrugs and says, I don't know. The family just said suspicious circumstances.
What were you going to say, Meg, about soul stealing?
No, because there's a soul-stealing monster. Why don't we go check the library first for anything that we can see?
Good idea. I mean, I think that makes sense. The dead body's not going anywhere, unfortunately.
But the library doesn't have any wine.
It does if you bring the wine with you.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm sure you can talk the guy around to give you a freebie.
So, what did the wine merchant see when he was crushed by some barrels?
Is that how he died?
Not much, he just let out a little wine.
A man is dead, Karen.
A man is dead, Karen.
Under spooky To be fair, I don't want to be that guy, but they said the elder of the winery has died. They didn't say if he was male or female. Tubbs is exploring a new position as the moral high ground.
Social justice.
Oh god.
But he's so short.
Right.
So,
Let's outline what mysteries have we got to solve. 1. What the fuck is stealing people's souls?
Yep.
And why are they not coming back proper?
Yep.
2. What the fuck made the fog? 3.
How the fuck to get out of the fog?
Yes. 4. What the fuck happened at the winery? And 5. How'd you kill a monster obsessed with etiquette?
Well, how do we know that the answers to 1, 2, and 5 aren't Karen?
Which questions 1, 2, and 5?
1 was what's eating souls, 2 was what's making the fog, and 5 was how do you kill an unkillable monster.
Well, the library might hold a key to defeating the monster as well. Because we might find some research or
I think that's a good idea.
idea.
I'm gonna hold Meg by the shoulder and look at me and say, Meg, libraries is where they keep books.
Karen, there are also places where you can find learned men who are looking for a lady.
You don't say. How much does being a librarian pay?
Well, we've been through quite a few libraries, so
Let's just say
abandoned libraries. This one's probably not abandoned because Crest is probably a big place.
Your barrenness, you're a fancy boy. Do you have a library?
we have a small library, and he sort of gestures to a rack of about 10 books behind him.
Can we use it while it's pissing it down outside? Because I don't have a raincoat.
Good idea.
Sure.
We can hold books over our heads to keep dry.
Librarians don't like it if you mistreat books, Karen. So if you're going to get all that sweet free paper, you're going to want to curb that.
Wait a minute, you're not tricking Karen with the illusion to books being made of paper, are you?
No?
Because you are
She-
too rally for that.
She would see through that.
Would she though?
As far as she knows, yes.
We've already established that Karen is quite a desperate woman of unknown age. But it's on the wrong side of 40.
Wait, is
Wrong
the
side of 40.
Wait, is the library in the actual room with us? It's just a couple of shelves of books.
Yeah.
So there is no actual library. It's just
Well,
him.
so I'm assuming there's a library in town. But I was saying,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
No,
the
there's
Abbey.
there's a small library in his sort of...
oh shit, there's a huge library in the Abbey, wasn't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah,
The Abbey's library was massive, but
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to look through it though because she chased us out.
right. So we need to kill an unkillable beast. Maybe we should consult Edmund.
He doesn't talk though.
What if we don't kill it and we just put it somewhere else?
We could try starting a book club with it.
Well, he did say he was going to serve us, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Or yeah. So
I mean, we can ask him yes and no questions. He might know something. Your barrenness. Can you lend us some people to help us kill an unkillable beast?
he sort of looks at you very confused and goes, kill a what?
We need some fodder.
No.
We
What
need
about
men
that?
specifically
Send some
to
men
die.
to their deaths.
What about some of those soulless boars?
Well, even the soulless have the right to live. And especially when they walk up to this creature and it'll tear them limb from limb and they won't feel it.
Exactly.
They will
the
just
perfect
die.
soldiers.
Surely that's like the best thing rather than having somebody feel getting torn limb from limb.
But that's fine, your barrenness. If you want to just leave us to do it and die while we protect your town, even though we're nothing to do with it. If you could live with that on your conscience, watching poor Karen get torn limb from limb when you could have done, that's fine.
He sort of shrugs and says, yeah.
All right.
I'll be honest, I was expecting that to go very differently.
Yeah.
You expected him to go, here are some people who I'm the Baron of, here is Karen. Which one's he going to side with?
Yeah. I'm gonna walk over and check out some of his books to see if there's anything on like local myths or anything to do with like instances of the lake.
Okay. You dig through the books. After about 2 hours, you've pretty much skimmed through everything. There is very little there. The only thing even remotely close is when a baking competition got disrupted by someone shoving the contestants into the lake.
A baking competition.
Yep.
Ooh. So it might have something to do with our pastries. Guys, there's a bit of a reference here about a baking competition gone bad.
Is there a cookbook?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
You could have added it to your kitchen.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking baking competition, you know.
Hey, Ozmand. Maybe this Baron's house has a kitchen.
That's a very good point.
Are you going to subtly steal a whisk or something?
As Tubbs pointed out, he is a fancy boy. You would assume he's got some kind of kitchen going on.
Probably
Can I
have
sneak
that.
away while the...
Can I clock Ozmand and be like, so your Baron, if you would explain this window to me, is this a Kreskian design?
Oh yes, it's in my family for generations.
I want to sneak off and find a kitchen.
Fine, you find the kitchen. What do you want to do in the kitchen?
I'm going to rifle through the cutlery drawer.
Okay. What are you looking for?
A cheese grater.
Roll.
No, a cheese grater is not stored in the cutlery drawer.
You have
Cheese
not been in
grater
my
is not
kitchen, my
cutlery.
friend.
Oh, it is in. I'm running a D&D campaign for some friends of mine, and one of them is a cleric of the god Anoia from Discworld, which is the god of things getting stuck in drawers.
Yeah.
And her prayer is basically the sound of a cheese grater being stuck in the drawer.
Natural 20. You find a very nice cheese grater that you pocket,
eating
and
well
you
tonight, friends.
don't even manage to shred your pocket while putting it in.
Nice. Adding that to my equipment.
Good, because none of us can sew a thing.
I can sew
Can you? Do you have
arms onto
needles?
things.
That's not the same kind of sewing.
Did you take point in seamstressing?
I don't think I did. I think I ran out of points.
Sweet. I'm happy I got my cheese grater.
So now Ozmand has stolen a cheese grater from the Baron.
Look, I've got a bread knife and a cheese grater. We're 2/3 of the way to a sandwich.
Nice. I also realised I have a weird hand mirror spell. I can't remember what it does.
You have a hand mirror spell that conjures a hand mirror, I think, for 5 minutes every half hour or something like that.
A vampire
I-
detector.
I slightly return to the group.
So anyway,
You
you're
wink
saying,
at Tubbs, very obviously.
so you're saying initially they were lead piping, but then you replaced it with fascinating, and you went for iron, even though
Yes,
it's not.
well, iron doesn't rust as much.
I see. Oh, wonderful. Anyway, thanks for the information. Bye. I'm gonna walk over and have a look at the shelf.
Right. Are we gonna head off and try and figure out if we can find any more information from the other library, or what's our
Sure.
other option?
Your Baroness, is there a proper library in town?
Not really, no. We never really needed one.
Right, so our only library is currently in possession of an evil monster.
We could
What about
disguise
the
ourselves
tavern?
as corpses.
We could, maybe if we're like very etiquette-y guests, like if we dress up fancy, she might take kindly to us?
We bring
What
her
if
a
we-
present.
Yeah.
We could do that. We could what?
Uh,
Turn up at our door dressed very nicely,
Yeah. Are there
ring
any-
the doorbell, and just be like, "We have a cake for you."
Because you have to invite someone in if they give you cake.
Yeah.
What is like an etiquette gift to give to somebody when you visit?
Food, because they have to be polite even if they don't like it.
Yeah.
So what, like we make like an egg salad? Because I know nobody likes egg salad, but you have to say you like it.
Are there any books on the shelf about etiquette?
No. Most of the stuff on the shelf, as I said, it seems to just be a very bad history of Kresk. But not really much more than...
Why don't we just buy a bottle of wine and bring that?
Maybe if we go to the winery, we can get some of their last...
Yeah.
Show up with like a case and be like, hey, we're sorry we ran away from you that one time. Why don't you get sloshed on us? Kind of thing.
Well, I feel like
Or
it's not
we could-
etiquette to say get sloshed, or in fact etiquette to get sloshed.
Yes.
What is the etiquette about getting sloshed?
I believe it's polite conversation and don't mention it.
And also making big words about how hungover you were. I was totally bamboozled
Yes.
Yeah.
last night. I was totally gazeboed.
Yes,
Do
Michael.
it over cigars in separate rooms divided by gender.
Yeah. Actually, that's perfect because then we as a gentleman can retire. Then we as a gentleman can retire to the library. If we have port and cigars, she can't join us etiquette-wise. We've got her. So we've got the library as long as we want it.
And you're leaving me and Karen alone with the monster.
What is this?
Talk about lady stuff with her.
What is this you're saying about cigars?
Karen, you can't go.
Alternatively, we could just sneak into the library the back way and hope that she doesn't come down.
I would like some wine though. We should go do that.
Maybe that's a good shout.
Well, why don't we go get wine first?
So winery, and then maybe they'll give us some wine in exchange for solving the mystery, and that might help us learn a bit more.
Okay.
Take some wine back to the castle, get some flowers. She can't say no. She's got to let us in.
Yep, and we can put Ozmand at the front, make them all pretty, and set her up in the date.
Perfect.
Excuse me.
Date
I'm
my
always
tiefling.
Sounds good.
And then at some point you can drop the feeling horny bit.
It's about time I claim my place as the, extremely handsome one in the group.
I could loan you the squeeze box. You can serenade her and perform, and we can
I feel like that
sneak
might
around.
put her off.
I
Well,
feel like it's poor etiquette to see how horny you are.
It's also poor etiquette to say someone's terrible when they're playing instrument to you.
True. She'd have to listen.
She has to listen.
So, okay, I'll borrow the squeeze box and I'll sing her a song about how horny I am. And then be able to get into the library.
Maybe not horny. Maybe like, your eyes sparkle like sapphires and your hair is like a waterfall of joy. That kind of sappy shit.
Did,
I know it's a bit derivative, but okay.
did any of you watch Come Down With Me?
I have on occasion.
Did you see the one that was this college kid? Well, uni kid. And it was the cringiest fucking shit. Like, he had a crush, he was crushing hard on some girl that was on the competition. It comes to his night, and the entertainment is he got his mate to play guitar and sing a song that went, I don't remember all the lyrics, but I remember the chorus that went, I don't want anybody else. When I think of you, I
know
touch
that
myself.
song. Yeah, it's in Austin Powers.
Is it?
Yeah, first
But he's
one.
just sitting there staring at this girl as his friend played to her, and it was really weird.
That's creepy.
And I think,
So many levels.
yeah,
That's
there
so
you go,
creepy.
Ozmand.
So that's the song I'm going to sing, is it?
Etiquette 101 with Karen Lebowski.
He
Available in all
also,
good bookshops soon.
he also made, because everybody makes stuffed peppers, peppers stuffed with baked beans and fancy cheese,
Oh, God.
which was like some blue cheese.
Right. Okay, winery.
I just realised
Right,
I've zoned out. It's just like, I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore.
So, I think magic god in the sky. We're gonna go to the winery, solve the murder in exchange for a case of wine, take it the etiquette monster, maybe we should give her a name, and then she'll have to let us in and she'll have to tolerate our company because it's rude to kill your guests.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
That sounds like a basic
one,
plan.
the one case of wine, surely we should keep a little extra just in case.
Well, I mean,
Well, we'll get two. We'll get two. We'll
Should we
one.
make it 3?
Or 3.
each.
We'll see how much we can get away with.
Yeah, well, yeah. Either way, CSI Barovia is on the case.
Oh man, that's such a good
man.
theme tune.
It's my jam. What a beat.
Who said the squeeze box will never get you laid?
Exactly. It might not get you laid.
Well, that's a whole other question entirely.
So,
Right, we're at the winery.
you arrive at the winery, you draw up the sort of dirt trail on your mystery machine cart, and as you get to the top, you see a procession of about 5 roughly the same height men carrying this coffin made of very cheap orange boxes towards a hole. What do you do?
Respectfully bow my head.
Does Tubbs have a badge yet? We really need badges, guys.
Yeah, we need to put that on the agenda.
Can I walk up to them and be like, excuse me, but we're CSI Bureau, we're here to investigate.
One of the men sort of looks at the other 3 and sort of makes a sort of gesture of, can you hold it while I talk to them? And he walks off to talk to you as 5 other people are sort of standing there awkwardly holding this box.
And we're sent Tubbs to help out.
The man introduces himself as Marketov. He
Yo.
is Marketov the Small.
Is he large?
He's basically like a sort of average height person.
Is he taller than Ozmand, or is about between
He's about
me and
Osmond height.
Okay, it's about Ozmand height. Okay. So we're all kind of looking up at him then, except
Yes.
Ozmand.
He's known as Marketov the Small.
You're the small one? Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, CSI
I'm
Bureau.
a height.
I'm afraid we've got a few questions to ask you about the recent death of the guy in the coffin.
You mean my father?
Exactly. I'm afraid everyone's a suspect right now, sir.
He's
I'm really sorry.
Should I tell him to put the box down then?
Yes, please. So you're alleging this man was your father, is that correct?
He turns around and sort of gestures and they begin to lower the box. Yes, that's my father, Marketov the Elder.
Then if it's your father, why are you not carrying the coffin? Come on, get your story straight, man.
He just looks at you really confused.
I want to lean into Tubbs and be like, I think you're straying a little close to entrapment there, Tubbs.
I see, okay. I'll be honest, I'm still practicing. So Tubbs gonna like kick back and just kick his heels. So, killed anyone recently? I mean, you know.
He sort of looks at you with a weird sort of like, huh? No?
Excuse my
Did you hear that, guy?
companion.
That was definitely hesitation. This guy's hiding something. I'm telling
Meg,
you.
Meg just like pinches the bridge of her nose and just sighs. Oh God. Could you excuse my companion over there? We're just wanting to inquire about your father's death and what exactly happened. If you could just give us a brief
Well,
recap.
me and my brothers, we all work here, along with my sister. Our mother died years ago, but our father, he got ill badly about a week ago, and then he just got progressively worse and then died.
What do you mean he got ill?
Well,
Was he injured or?
no, he just suddenly got incredibly ill and then just died.
Did it seem like he was like maybe losing his soul?
No.
Was he a bit withdrawn?
Like, he went very pale and his hair went white, but
I mean, you don't get much more withdrawn than dead.
Meant psychologically, Karen.
Gonna huff.
Are things not going your way today, Karen?
I don't know, I just feel like Karen would be really good at huffing.
oh god. What now?
So your father got ill and then he died. Has anything else happened suspicious around here recently? We heard that his death was suspicious, and if you don't mind my saying, an illness isn't really suspicious. Unfortunate,
Well,
yes, but
He got ill, and then about 2 days after he got ill, we got attacked, and the crops haven't recovered yet. That's why we've had to close the winery, because the crops aren't lasting.
attacked by what?
I don't really know. It was kind of a wave of mist with, like, strange, chirpy people playing panpipes.
So a strange mist descends, wipes out your crops.
Yeah.
New ages. Ugh.
And they were playing panpipes, you say?
Oh yes. You never forget once you've heard bad panpipes.
I side-eye Ozmand.
I'm looking into middle distance, like having flashbacks to terrible pan music.
Okay, so was this about the same time your father became ill?
Yeah, it was a couple of days after.
I see, but none of you were ill.
No.
Very coincidental, isn't it, that only he becomes ill?
Well, he tries every batch of wine whenever we get a batch before we sell it. He's done that for generations.
So he's suggesting that the wine might be poisoned.
Well, we threw away the batch once he got sick.
Did you test the other batches?
Well, we don't really have a way of testing apart from drinking it, and after what happened to Father, we daren't try it.
But you thought you'd send the Baron some.
Oh no, he got the batch before that. That's why we can't send anymore.
You wouldn't happen to have any wine on hand that we could use to try and investigate the cause of the death?
Not really, no. We kind of sold all we had left to pay for the funeral. He turns around and points at the orange box the corpse is in and says, "That's finest orange box that cost us the gold we had."
I see, and he's definitely dead, right?
What do you mean, definitely dead?
Well, this is a strange land of crazy beasts and stuff dying, but not really dying and being reborn and all kind of strange stuff, so...
He sort of raises an eyebrow at you and looks very confused.
Hey Tubbs, can you make furniture out of not dead people?
I mean, you can, but they're a lot less obedient.
So, if you could turn the dead into like a chair, then we'd know he was definitely dead.
I mean, technically, although if rigor mortis is set in, it tends to work on better on zombies because you can tell them to hold a position, they'll hold it.
Yeah, it'd be better as a mining board.
You've got a very fine amount of time to actually get there and do the necrocarpentry if it's just a dead body.
Otherwise, they're only good for floorboards.
And I'm not a monster, I'm not gonna lie.
Do you want to pave your kitchen with your dad?
Some nice rustic dead person tiling going in there.
Yep.
Right, so...
As we discussed the week before, flesh is quite water resilient.
In conclusion, a weird mist came down. Was it just your farm? Were other farms affected that you know of?
Well, we're the only farm around here.
I see, that's convenient.
So what do people eat then?
Well, we get our food in exchange for wine, but we don't have any wine now.
So now the whole town is going to starve to death.
He
Well,
sort of looks at
they'll
you
all sober up for one thing.
and goes, "Well, I'm sure we'll find something, it just means we have to find another way to make ends meet. But it's a shame, because we just can't seem to get the crops to come back. Whatever we try, they just don't seem to want to."
So it's almost like the ground's been desecrated and destroyed.
Yeah, how'd you know?
We've come up against something relatively similar. Something's going around desecrating lots of ground.
Yeah, maybe it's because you mentioned about how nothing will grow in the ground about 3 different times.
So, what happened in the weeks preceding this event? Did anyone get any curses out, or...?
No, just same as ever, really. Just, we harvested Monday's batch, we took it in, and we trampled it all, and we put it into kegs, and then Father tried it, and then Father got ill, and we ditched that batch, and we went out on Wednesday to harvest Wednesday's crop, and yeah, same as normal, really.
Have any other strange people been working on your farms? Have you hired any new hands that have given you...
No, it's
weird-
just me, my brothers, and my sister.
Have you used the same kegs? Different kegs?
Oh, we always use different kegs, because we ship them off.
And if the entire town was relying on your wine in order to get food, it seems unlikely that a town person would be the perpetrator.
True.
He sort of looks around and goes, "What town?"
The settlement,
the
the
wine.
town, I don't fucking know.
It's just a small building that they live in. And
Like,
lots
is it
of
not
fields.
Kresk?
No, this is at the winery.
Oh yeah,
Completely different
yeah, that's
location.
quite... How far is the winery from Kresk?
About half a day's journey.
Okay, that makes more sense.
I thought the implication was that Kresk didn't have any farms.
Kresk were giving them food in exchange for the wine.
Okay, so can we inspect the ground and also the kegs and anything you've got left over from that?
Sure,
tainted crop?
to speak to my brother over there. He knows about the kegs, and then my other brother will take you out to the fields.
Well, I feel like we'll let you bury your dad, you go plant him, and then we'll rendezvous afterwards. We're gonna go take a look around while you do the deed, is that alright?
Yeah, that's fine. Just talk to Stephanie when you're done. And he points to a youngish looking girl who seems to be wearing all black and crying.
Goth, eh?
What's she hiding to be sad about?
Well, she's my sister.
Yes, interesting.
Yes,
They're just burying their dad, remember?
Oh, yeah.
That's why she's crying, you idiot.
So-
I never had a dad. I was born, and my mum just gave birth to me one day, apparently.
Just before you go, can you point me in the direction of where, like, the ground's been desecrated? Because I'm gonna have a look
Well,
through.
My brother will show you shortly, and he
Oh.
calls over another one, and this sort of very lanky man comes over and says, "Hello, I'm Marketov the Younger."
Hi,
You all
Mark.
called Marketov.
He sort of looks at you and goes, "Well, yeah,
Okay.
I'm Marketov the Younger. He's Marketov the Small. That's Marketov the Bearded, and that's Marketov the other one."
What happens if Marketov the Bearded has a shave?
Well, he had more hair than the rest of us, which is why he became known as Marketov the Bearded when he was born.
Okay.
But surely he didn't have a beard till he was like at least 15.
But we in the Marketov family have had beards since we were 12.
Even then, that's like 12 years he didn't have a beard. And was called
Well, yes,
Marketov the
but-
Bearded.
That's what father wants to call him.
I'm going to go stand next to Stephanie and try and look respectful yet handsome.
Use your horny line.
I'm just gonna talk to Markov the Younger.
Okay.
So, can you just like show me where the ground is desecrated? I might use some of my alchemy and see if I can figure out.
Okay. He
What's
takes
actually
you off into the field, and as you're standing in this field, it looks like all these crops around you are... They look like they can't take in moisture, and they seem to be, like, significantly... It looks like the ground's given up on them, and they're just not coping very well.
Can I see any tracks or?
Have you got tracking?
Yes, I do.
Then roll.
No.
You look around and you go, "There's nothing here. There could not be a trail here. That would be far too easy."
Good to know, Meg.
Does anyone else want to try again, or should we just say there's no path?
Yeah,
No.
Tubbs will join him.
I'm going to trust Meg's word.
Oh,
Are
great.
you alright, Meg? Nothing here.
There's no
Another
path at
eye.
all. Nothing, not at all.
Nothing here. Nope, I agree with Meg.
Nothing.
Sorry I doubted you, Meg.
It's
God,
alright.
Tubbs, why
It's
wouldn't
fine.
you trust Meg?
The rogue can't find anything.
The rogue cannot find anything. So, you look through the field, you can't find any cause or reason or track or trail to follow.
So, random missed descents. Now, why attack the winery? That's the question. I mean, we get it with the Holy Land because, you know, the holy, I imagine anything that's kind of a bit evil tends to be repelled by holy things. So, killing priests and desecrating temples, that makes sense. But why a winery?
Maybe they was teetotalers. They always struck me as a bit high-strung.
Tell me, chap, did the winery only make wine? Did you do anything else?
well, we used to make holy wine, but we haven't been able to make holy wine in a long, long time.
Why is that?
I don't know, it's like one of the crops just kind of stopped responding to the land, and then it just died.
So
I asked my father
basically-
about it, and he just told me that it's just what happens with the land.
So basically, this fits the pattern of trying to destroy holy things. There's something unholy that's trying to desecrate everything holy, including apparently holy wine. Do you have any of the holy wine left aging we could take samples of?
No, we sold the last few bottles. They went for a lot of money. We had to sell to, again, afford the orange box for father.
Yeah, I bet the
What?
same person who probably trashed your land is probably the same person that bought up all your holy wine.
Well, the holy wine was all bought by men in like Falaki and Kresk. I've not seen any of them around here in a long time.
Tell me something, why an orange box? Where I come from, and not that I bury a lot of people, but where we come from, we do more traditional wooden boxes.
Well, you know, wood's expensive.
Okay,
And use what you've got.
yeah. Okay, so they're also desecrating this land, so there's some kind of mist that's going around. So you heard panpipes.
Yeah.
Was there any kind of like a beast or anything, like claw
No,
marks?
just this sort of mist and then panpipes and the smell Oh, the smell.
What did it smell like?
Unwashed elves.
Told you guys, New Ages.
Unwashed elves.
I feel like elves probably don't smell that bad, even if they are unwashed. Probably like quite sweet.
So, we know something's going on desecrating. Sounds like something elvish. They're playing panpipes and playing mist. It's got to be desecrating it for a reason, right?
Have you guys made any deals lately with any
Well,
local people?
we did have to drive some caravan folk off our land a couple of years ago, but I've not seen them since.
What kind of caravan people?
Oh, you know the kind. Free love, wants to basically shag everywhere. Usual
Okay.
kind.
Yeah, so it's definitely maybe cursed.
Yeah, don't sound like them Vistenza folk.
Yeah, to be
Oh,
fair,
no,
yeah, I
it's
mean,
not-
Tubbs
it's not
killed
the
one of the Vistani, and nothing bad happened to us.
Yet, although, I mean, we're still stuck here.
Ooh, burn.
So, something's desecrating anything holy, which would make sense if it's something that doesn't like holy stuff. So I think what we need to do is do some research into holy locations around the area, check them out, see if they've all suffered a similar fate, and we can do that at the library, which is our plan anyway.
At this point, your dog, who I haven't involved in several weeks, starts barking.
What is it, boy?
Roll.
That is a natural one.
Natural one.
There's a
He
voice.
basically jumps and barrels over you, and you see in his mouth a set of panpipes.
The dog has found some panpipes. Can you show us where you found those panpipes?
Yes, you can. So excitedly starts running off to the side of the field.
Okay, guys, Jason's found some panpipes. We might want to go and follow him. Not that I'm not capable, but just CSI Barovia and all.
Yeah, let's go follow him. I turn back to Steffi and go, hey, maybe once we can talk about what your dad... Let's talk about your dad, but maybe, we'll find out... I'm going to start this whole sentence again. I don't know where I was going with it.
She grins at you when you sort of see her sort of bumbling away, trying to talk to her, and she's got about one tooth in her head.
I mean, you don't know that I'm not into that.
No, I'm not saying you're not, I'm just saying.
I give her a charming wink and follow the dog.
I'm going to pull Meg along with me because I need her rogue skills.
Okay.
You CSI Barovia.
So the dog sort of runs straight south. You follow him, and as you begin to go through some sort of thick trees and bushes, you begin to hear the sound of panpipes and what you can describe as groaning.
Oh shit, guys, there's panpipes here. Your mom want to get your shit ready. It's a good job we left Rosie to guard the cart, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure she's very capable.
I'm going to pull out my staff and head forward.
So
I'm gonna pull my daggers out.
I will pull out the rusty sword with the sun icon, which I haven't got fixed yet, but it's probably more capable than my spoon or my bread knife.
What about your cheese grater?
the holy cheese
No,
grater.
you don't want to ruin the cheese grater.
Oh,
You should
cheese
let-
grater.
Wear that over a hand like a gauntlet. Hit him with a spiky side.
It's great in time.
You continue through the bushes, and eventually you hear the dog starts barking. And as you come to the edge of this hill going back downwards, you look into the sight in front of you. In front of you there is a large tree. There are several very obviously naked elves and very thin humans running around arm in arm. There are several orgies going on, and there are basically lots of people playing panpipes and singing. Very,
Sounds
very out of tune singing.
Tells Paul's his robe off. He knows what to do. He does not.
I'm gonna plug my ears because with a finely honed sense of rhythm and tune, this is absolute torture to me.
Mm-hmm.
Meg's gonna avert her eyes as best she can.
Tubbs is just going to tilt his head to try and work out what's going on.
There is too much skin on display.
Tubbs was talking about his butler suit.
Tubbs is going to hand the panpipes over to Oz and be like, "Hey Oz, maybe you can join in and make them good."
Maybe you can get fucked.
I mean, I'll be honest, if I walk
before I play these panpipes.
If I walk down there, that's a very high likelihood by the look of it.
There are literally several orgies going on. You can't tell gender, it's just a mass of skin, hair, and groaning and sort of like writhing up and down.
Meg is totally like shielding her eyes as best as she can and just looking at Karen going, "Karen, what the fuck do we do?"
Do any of them look like they'd make a good sugar daddy?
As I said, you can only see masses of hair and sort of wobbly flesh.
Right, I'm going in. I'm going to tie a rope around myself. And then give the other end to Meg. I'm like, "Meg, if shit goes down, you get me out of there, okay?"
Don't worry, man. I'll pull. I'll yank.
This is not what I want my first time to be, okay?
We are learning a lot about Tubbs.
So,
Wow.
I mean,
So-
talk
Also,
about
yank
running
maybe
before
wasn't
you
the
learn how to
best
walk.
word.
In hindsight, yeah, that probably wasn't the best use.
Tubbs is going to approach the clearing and try and get the attention of these people. "Hail and well met, friend. You look like you're having a good old time down there."
two of the elves come over and say, "Welcome, man. You should be part of the Festival of Love."
I would love to. You see what I did there? Do you have like a leaflet or a brochure or some information?
Just look around you, man. It's everywhere. We're about nature and love.
Yes, and I'm really looking to join a festival of that kind of summons mists and things. Would you happen to know anything about that?
He sort of goes, "I know what you're after, man." And he takes out a small pouch from behind him. He sort of fishes inside it, takes out a very thick, loaded cigarette, takes a puff of it and blows very strong weed smoke into your face.
Like, this is Karen's jam.
That's not what I meant, thank you. Let me introduce you to my friend Karen. Karen, these gentlemen are trying to push something onto me and it's making me uncomfortable. I think it might be better.
I'm going to take it as Karen doesn't know that it's a cannabis cigarette.
These gentlemen have cigarettes
And
and
she's
maybe...
just going to, like, take it. Like,
Guys, really?
yeah, and just,
So-
like...
As Karen approaches, the two very stoned-looking elves go, "No, we can't have her. Oh, look at that. That's so mean. How can you live with yourself?
Why can't we have her?
Look at her, man. She's wearing Brother Wolf and Sister Fawn."
I will have you know this is the image of a woman of high repute.
Oh, do you mean the
wearing
fur?
animals, man. They were creatures. They were the latest creatures. You can't
And-
wear that, man.
Yeah, get out of here, man. I'm with these dudes now.
What is this, Peter?
Is someone going
You
to
know
throw
my
blood at me
thoughts, okay?
next?
I wouldn't
So,
make fun of
tell
those
me.
cunts at all.
Tell me, cool bro dudes, who's this lady and where can I find her?
She's all around. She came to us, man. She gave us the weed.
I'm pretty sure she did come to you. Jesus.
She told us that you don't have to be afraid. You can just love everyone.
I mean, that's excellent advice, and I totally support the sentiment.
Has to get consent first.
Yeah, are you... Question, have you been up to the winery recently?
The what?
The farm on the hill with the grapes?
Oh, they were holding nature, man. They were trying to put nature in a box. They were
so
trying
you-
to hold it back.
So
We
you
couldn't
saved
let
nature.
the lady, she came to us, man. She told us we had to free nature. It was in a
Well-
box, man. In a box.
That's kind of an ironic turn of events because now the winery owner's in the box.
He
did
deserved everything he had coming to him, man. He was trying to enslave nature.
Yeah, damn right, radical dudes.
Yes,
So,
did-
sure,
you-
whatever.
Did you poison the crop then?
We wouldn't hurt another creature, man.
How did you solve it? I want to know what you cool dudes did, because I want to be one of you.
Oh, Mother Nature came to us and she told us, don't be afraid. And we were like, you're really glowy. And she's like, yeah.
So a glowing lady came to you and said, hey dudes, I need you to go up that farm and just be like, free all those plants from slavery.
She told us to go up there and make a lot of noise and just tell them that nature wouldn't be held back any longer.
Okay.
Is the mist them just getting really high and having an orgy in his field?
That might be part of the cum, dude. You just gotta go with it.
So, all of those plants died.
No, they didn't die, dude. They were just not looked after right. They were encased in a box. The lady came and she took the boxes away.
Right, okay. What kind of boxes did she take?
I don't know, man. She just showed us them. She opened the boxes and showed us. There were these, like, glowing and shit. They were fucking moon, man. It was like the moon and stars all over again.
That sounds radical. And did she bury them in the ground, or...?
She put one into a tree here and she took the other one away with her.
Oh, that sounds totally radical. Can I see it?
In this tree, you see, like this tree right here.
This tree here, and he gestures, and you look at this tree, and as you look close at the tree, you notice that around the tree itself is wrapped with this thick layer of vines and grapes. The tree now feeds us, man. Nature's everywhere. We don't need to go looking for food. It's right there.
I see. So it's absorbed all that evil grapes that they were doing up there, and it's turned it into cool, free grapes, right?
Yeah, they're all free, man. Just take what you need.
Cool. Well, I must say, it's been smashing to meet you chaps. And if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to pop up and chat to my friends, and we'll come and join in the orgy later. Is that right?
You should totally come down, man. All of us gonna get together and ride around. It's gonna be a beautiful thing.
Well, if there's one thing they say about Tubbs Groundswell, he is mad for the puss.
You don't just have to go for that, man. You can go anywhere you want.
I'll be honest, my bread is buttered on a particular... Not that I think it's a problem if your bread is buttered both sides, or in fact, on... I don't know what side...
everywhere on me, man.
Lovely. I'm going to keep that image in my head, and then I'll... Yeah, so, lovely to meet you chaps. Do you have names?
My name is Night Spirit. This is my partner, Jerome.
Well, not Spirit and Jerome, it's been a pleasure to meet you, and I'm gonna go and talk to my radical dude friends up there. They're called Twigleaf and Meg. So
bring him down, man. Free love and expression everywhere. You don't need to have clothes. You can just be naked. Like the lady intended. And at night we all get all close so we're warm.
I will bring them down and we can all get together and be warm. But first I need to go and consult with them. Just to tell them how radical you dudes are. Because they thought you were evil.
He leans down and just kisses you on the forehead and says, bless and be with you, brother.
Yes, and Tom's like trying to like frantically like rub it off but discreetly. Yes, you two smashing, thank you. And I'm gonna head back up the hill to go and talk to these guys.
Okay.
Meg's been watching and she noticed that he looked at her in her direction for some reason, so Meg's got a suspicion that he said something about her.
For the reason why panpipes are bullshit is because...
Okay, so basically, Mother Nature, in inverted commas, came along and told them that the plants up there were enslaved, and then she took this like glowing stone and put it in the tree, and now the grapes are growing around their tree, not around the grapes thing. So I'm assuming that something's leeching the life out of that ground, which is why it's not working. Like, it's not infertile, something's taking all the kind of stuff out of it, and it's not going there, it's going down here. But she also took another one with her, so I'm wondering whether she's leeching shit elsewhere as well.
So we need to get the stone out of that tree.
So how do you want to play this?
I mean, they're all too busy having a bit of an orgy. I'm sure we could just take it.
Yeah, but the minute we probably take that thing, the magic that was using it will probably stop, and then we're gonna have a lot of angry naked people.
Meg, that ain't magic. It's keeping them occupied.
I say, they said at night they all gather together and sleep together, so maybe while they're sleeping we can poach it.
I don't
That
think
sounds
they
like
said
a-
they were sleeping.
Maybe we need to put a spy on the inside, so to speak, to distract them. Someone who's got talent in this area already.
I hear what you're saying. We'll send Edmonds in.
I mean, this
He can
might be
keep
the
them
life we
distracted
need.
while we take the box.
That I actually like that idea, Ozzy. I do.
I mean, if that's a decision you guys want to make,
I turn
Yeah.
to Edmonds and go, hey buddy, you down to clown in Orgy Town?
He sort of looks at you and then sort of like pulls his fur a little bit and then lets go of it and then sort of looks at you and like, I'm made of fur.
Yeah, but you know, you got like stuff under the fur, right?
He sort of blinks at you as in he's not really sure to respond to that.
I feel like.
And
I
he
feel
again
like
sort of
Edmonds
does a
is
sort of like
understanding me.
pulling the fur and then letting go again as if kind of like, I can't take my fur off.
I'm not saying take it off. I'm just saying, you know, go down there and have a good time.
Have a nice time. You've had a
Yeah.
terrible time recently.
Yeah, you know,
could
you
still
gotta.
conduct a few of them on the bone train, right?
He just sort of shrugs and decides, fuck it, why not? And he walks down towards the group of them. And all you hear is, oh no, there's a wolf. Go away, wolf. Nature tells you to go away, man.
I feel like there's a
he
lot
sort
of
then
hypocrisy
you
coming
see
from
Edmonds
themselves.
reappear several minutes later, just like he's looking at you like, I have no idea how the fuck to react to that.
Poor
Can I
Noel
Sorry,
be
Edmonds.
sure of Edmonds?
I'll be honest, I feel like we should send someone else.
Well, they don't like me very much.
Oh shit!
On account of my classic garb.
Can we make Meg glow?
No. No. I'm putting my foot down. I ain't going.
No, but then I'm thinking this Mother Nature came to them in the form of a glowing woman. So you could be like, hey, I need to
Oh.
take the stone back, guys. And they'll be like, okay,
Well, we do have a glitter bomb.
do we?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, well, then let's fucking do it.
Okay.
So let me get this idea. You want me to go down to these people to pretend that I am the maker of whatever or
Mother Nature.
Or Mother Nature. So our plan is to start this con by maybe throwing a glitter bomb and having me appear out of this glitter bomb and then
dig
be
it.
like something like that. Is that pretty much what you want me to do?
Yeah, and if it
Absolutely.
all goes wrong, we can always throw one of them lead bombs into the orgy pile.
God.
Or that.
Oh
that
god.
So maybe if you do that secret from one side, then we can also, as a contingency, send Karen to go and burgle the stone, just in case you don't pay attention.
Okay. Let's.
I am quite good at burgling.
Yeah, you are
So,
better than I am.
If
So.
worst comes to worst, you can just punch a bunch of naked people.
Okay, no. I don't
so is
wanna
Meg
punch
going
people.
down to throw glitter bombs?
I'm gonna throw a glitter bomb and try and.
What are you going to be wearing for this?
Okay, this is where I look to Karen and be like, Karen, what does a hooker look like? What does Mother Nature look like,
I
even?
feel like
What's
Mother
my-
Nature would wear leaves.
Okay. Am I gonna have
But-
to
but
roll around
remember-
in the dirt?
Well, no, remember this wasn't actually Mother Nature, this was some crazy lady.
Yeah, so do
Who's
I
got
have to look holy or.
I just say we cover you in leaves.
Meg is just wondering how the fuck she got into this
Like we
situation.
need like what, 3 fig leaves?
Ha, I'm Meg.
Men, no.
You might wonder how I ended up in this situation. Well, let me tell you.
Why is
I'm-
Meg Karen now?
Meg is not wearing just 3 fig leaves. She's just not. She'll just quite violently just like punch you in the face if you dare ask.
Well, we can find like more than 3. I'm sure we're in a forest.
I feel like, what's Meg wearing at the moment? Is she wearing...
She's wearing fur.
I'm wearing the fur armor.
Right, they're definitely not going to dig that, because they think that fur is murder.
Yeah. Well, Karen, well, me and you just swap outfits for now.
Isn't Karen also wearing fur?
Karen is also wearing fur.
Oh, is Karen also wearing? I thought she was wearing her maid outfit. Do you still have your
No,
maid
she's
outfit,
wearing
Karen?
fur
I
from
do have a
last
maid
week.
outfit, but would you think they'll recognize my face? They did seem pretty out.
No, I'm saying I'll wear the maid outfit
Maybe you could hide it behind a large leaf, Karen.
Yeah. Do a fan dance for them.
Oh my god, I just find the biggest leaf and make a mask out of it.
So, is Karen now making a leaf mask?
Sure.
So, Karen in a maid outfit wearing a leaf mask.
So I'm no longer going down now, so it's Karen that's going down, or am I still?
Yeah, I guess so. Although I suppose that works,
Sure.
because you can go and stealthily steal the gem, and we'll...
Okay.
I mean, I'll support you from up here.
I'm stealing from a tree, and I do have foraging.
I have
Does
foraging.
stealing from the tree count as foraging?
Now,
Not really, no.
Ozmand,
Yes.
you have the hardest job of all. I'm going to hand over the panpipes and be like, we need you to announce her entry with some banging tunes that's better than their out-of-tune shit.
You're gonna owe me big time for this.
Okay.
Handpipes.
I'll direct
So-
from up here. I'll have my staff ready should we need to throw some fireballs at them.
Okay, so
Tubbs is going to go and find a bucket. I'm going to go pull the hood up on my robe and, like, try and create a similar kind of mask effect to Karen. I can be like an acolyte and walk down with a wooden bucket and just, like, start beating drums in the background to try and kind of make it.
right, okay. So everything kind of goes a bit quiet. One of the orgies kind of dies down and seems to sort of finish off with a very loud, out of tune. And suddenly, from nowhere, the sound of the panpipes begins to rock through the
I might not like it, but I'm a professional.
Okay. So as the panpipes rock through, roll to throw glitter bomb, whoever's throwing it.
I'll throw it.
So you're stealthing throwing a glitter bomb.
I'm
Like
stealthily
Karen.
throwing it. Oh. my
Okay.
God.
You throw the glitter bomb goes poof, and there's all this like glitter flying everywhere, and all you hear is just, "Whoa, she's back!"
Quietly, I say to myself, "This is really fucking ridiculous."
Be thankful, Meg, you really ended up in fig leaves.
Yeah, it's very true. I'm very, very grateful.
So, what's Karen going to do now she's been sort of appearing as the lady wearing the maid outfit and the mask?
Hello, children of the forest. That was a really good orgy I just witnessed, and I came personally to congratulate you all.
And Tubbs is just going to start, like, moaning, like, acolyte in the background, like, oh, holy one.
Do you have lots of weed for us, lady?
Yeah, and I just just grab a bundle of grass.
I've made this entire clearing grow into weed.
Yeah.
Whoa, she's made weed grow everywhere. And you notice them all really like meticulously on all fours, like picking single blades of grass.
Nah, because there's so much of it, it's like not as strong as the little bit I gave you before, but it's still good.
Whoa. Does the magic dust still work?
Yeah, 100%. And I like grab a handful of glitter off the floor and sprinkle it over them.
Should we do the ritual now?
No.
Yeah.
I imagine you're all really tired after that orgy. Why don't you all
No,
just have
we're
a bit
all
of sleep?
awake now. We've all got all this weed to smoke.
I mean,
Fine, let's
holy-
do the ritual.
Holy lady, why don't you get them to give you the magic dust and then we can start the ritual?
Well, I want you to show me how the ritual is done, just so I can make sure that you guys remember it.
Okay. And he sort of gestures and goes, Jerome, start the ritual. And everyone starts sort of clapping really lazily, and 2 or 3 of them start like running around. They're like, you know that way where they all link arms and they sort of run sideways?
Yes,
They're doing that and running around the tree in circles.
like some maypole shit.
Yeah. And the one who he refers to as Jerome walks towards the tree and says, "We brought you the power," and just throws some sort of purple dust at the tree. The ground begins to rumble.
Ah, fuck.
I told you
And
guys, nothing good comes of panpipes.
And you hear the tree begin to start cracking and moving. What do you do?
We can stunt this out.
Now that's really good, but you see that tree over there? That tree needs some like power too. Why don't you go help that tree over there?
They're all sort of staring open-mouthed at this tree as it's like cracking and it's like developing arms and then legs and then begins to rise out of the ground.
Behold the power of the forest.
They all
back
fall to
slowly
their
away.
knees and go, "Power of the lady, the power." What do you do as this tree basically rips itself out of the ground?
Is it like a tree end kind
It's
of
turning into
thing?
an ant, yes.
Oh god.
Oh no, why am I doing a stoner voice? What?
It's quite addictive once you start, dude.
I've completely lost the accent.
Whoa.
Karen, talk about Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler. Oh no, the tree, it's corrupted with the evils of the winery. You guys must defend the forest.
But you told us to feed the tree.
Yeah, but the tree was a bad tree, and it's angry and it's going to like destroy the forest. So like,
Were you?
It's
Were you?
part of nature. It can't be angry. It's gonna love all of us.
Yes. Why don't you show us how it loves you all?
yeah,
Oh,
like
Holy
throw
One.
yourselves at the tree, everybody. Pin it down with your love.
The treant turns to face you and swings its like huge arm and like cleaves through about 3 or 4 of the hippies and like properly like slices them in half.
I mean, that tree looks pretty angry.
The rest of them all go, "No, not blood. I can't deal with blood. Oh," and some of them just faint.
Looks like you should
Okay.
have got in on that orgy while you could, Tubbs.
Tubbs doesn't want his first time to be like that.
Well, no,
So
my
I-
point, you missed your window there.
I'm assuming the hippies are all like freaking out and running around.
The hippies are all
running
sort of
away.
like, some of them are just like, "I'll play some soothing music for it," playing some panpipes at it. It doesn't seem to
that-
like the panpipes, it seems to make it angrier.
Okay.
See?
We should have trusted Oz. So good ritual, everyone, and Tubbs is going to start backing up the hill.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea, my acolyte.
Oh yes, Mistress, Holy One.
A couple
know
of them
what?
turn to you and say, "But you need to save us. You brought this creature into the world. We can't hurt it."
It's a figment of your imagination. It's too much weed.
Yeah, that's just old. That's just Timmy.
Okay, someone that can do the Owen Wilson wow, please do it now.
Wow.
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 There you go, that's the reaction.
There's lots of sound effects in this
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
I'm also long gone up the hill, hiding behind another tree.
Yeah, Meg's like backed off and is contemplating whether to throw a grenade at it or not, and then she's like, "Nah, I'll save this for another time."
As the tree's sort of moving around, swinging and occasionally killing hippies, you do notice that in its chest region there is obviously something like glowing, like magical.
Okay, so
We really need to get that stone.
yeah,
What we should do is we should find those soulless foresters. These probably quite good at dealing with trees.
Or we
Yeah,
could just
but
fire
walking
fireballs at it.
You could do that, Tubbs. Why didn't you think of that earlier?
Should we try one and see what happens?
Okay, what are you going to do?
What do we think, team?
We
I mean, I've
could-
got purple fireworks as well and a grenade.
We need to get that stone out of its chest
Yeah.
cavity.
Can I light a cigarette, smoke most of it, and throw the stub on the floor and try and cause a forest fire?
Only you can prevent Karen. Roll. You throw it into the grass, nothing happens.
Damn.
Tubbs is going to throw a fireball at the tree end.
Okay, roll. You smack the tree with a fireball, it begins to singe in parts, and it sort of turns to look towards you with very, like, rage and anger in its eyes.
Does it
and
look like it
begins to
got
sort
hurt?
of move towards you.
Did it get hurt at all?
It got hurt. It got singed and hurt a bit, but it's like lurching towards you now, ignoring the hippies.
Oh, great. Now he's coming towards us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we go and get some of that purple dust?
How about I run at it, try and knock him over, and we can try and prise that stone out of his chest.
Let's
It's
do it.
about 4 times the size of a normal human, but
Oh,
okay.
Well, I mean, we can always climb it, and we can throw fireballs, keep it distracted while you try and get the stone out.
But are we not up the hill? So if I like
You are up the
find
hill
a ledge,
looking down at this.
yeah. So why don't I just like run down the hill, find a ledge, leap off the hill, try and like
This
get
points
into his
for drama.
chest. Yes.
Okay.
And like thrust down my dagger into his chest to try and prise this thingy open.
I know where we can find an orange box if it goes wrong.
Oh fuck it! I'm gonna do it. Meg's gonna try.
Okay.
I believe in you, Meg.
I mean, it's better than my attempt to start a forest fire.
Smokey the bear is looking at you, Belry, and he's very upset.
Face of shame.
You run down the hill and leap. You land basically in the sort of side of the tree, and you hold on. So you're now sort of swinging side to side, attached to the tree.
So I'm riding an ent.
You're riding an ant, yes.
Okay, Tom's gonna fire another fireball, kind of like at its feet to try and slow it down a bit.
Okay, roll.
This does not seem entirely safe.
We. Yeah.
So yes, you smack it in the legs. The legs are now on fire. One leg is actually caught fire.
Hey!
So one leg of this ant is on fire, and it still looks very angry as one of its legs is burning.
I want to try something weird. Can I try?
That's not like us.
Can I try and throw my ceremonial dagger into the chest cavity to sort of shake loose whatever's in there?
You can try. You throw your ceremonial dagger. Meg, do a dodge roll.
Oh shit!
God.
Sorry.
Yep, you're fine. It just like, misses your head by about a couple of inches.
Sorry.
I'm gonna turn and stare directly at Ozmand and give him the evils.
I'm gonna sort of give like a big thumbs up and like a sort of sorry kind of look on my face.
I'm gonna flip him the bird.
Totally fair. Totally fair.
You nearly decapitated me.
So, so what's next? The ant is
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
continue to lurch towards Tubbs.
Okay.
It doesn't reach him yet, but it does reach the trees around him and to see if its leg manages to set any other trees on fire. Nope. But it is still on fire.
Okay. I'm gonna try and like reach round and try and like prise out the thing that's in its chest.
Okay. You manage to get one hand on it, but you can't seem to prise it out at the moment. You do realise at this point that all the vines that are sort of crisscrossed across its body seem to be holding it together structurally.
Okay. I'm gonna have to cut through it then.
You might have to,
Yes.
yes.
I'm gonna try and hit those vines. Then.
Okay.
Wait, do I know that, or is that Mexie's that
Okay, I'll shout that. I'll shout it then.
Okay.
Guys, there's vines in this.
Yep, you just smack the tree again, and the same leg, that side of its body is very much on fire. But you notice that the vines seem to, as quickly as they wither, they regrow.
Ah, tits.
That's not ideal.
So, the leg that's on fire, can I swing at it with my gaudy mace?
You
Go
have
for
to
it,
run and
Karen.
swing, but yes.
Can I slide down the hill and swing at it?
Sure. Why the fuck not? Is that natural 20?
It is. It's
Whoa.
really cool,
Oh
guys.
god. Okay. So, Karen slides down the hill. She draws the mace in one swift movement and just swings. The leg of the treant goes flying to the other side of the clearing. The treant looks over at Karen, goes and then falls over and begins to burn. It now is thrashing around with one leg, and Meg is frantically like trying not to get squashed by the burning, flailing tree.
Ah!
I'm just like doing like a pose like 2 feet away from where it fell.
Yes, only you can prevent Karen.
So basically, Karen can add Treant to the list of things that she has kneecapped.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
If it's fallen over and burning, we could just like let it burn and have a nice campfire.
We should probably.
Yeah, what are the hippies doing?
The hippies are all sort of, half of them have fainted, as I said, because they can't stand the sight of blood. The other half are sort of looking really traumatized, like they can't believe this is going on and nature would betray them.
Shall we not try and help Meg out of the bonfire?
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I'll pull Meg out from under the tree end.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn to the crowd in my acolyte voice and be like, "Oh, see how Mother Nature has saved you from the corrupted nature that covers this land, and tremble at her power.
But what would you have us do, man?
Tremble at her power.
Get a job.
How about you stop doing what you're doing to the winery and leave the winery alone?
We've barely touched the winery, man.
Well,
We
stop.
just want free love.
Well, just stop bothering the winery, and
Yeah,
they'll
stop
stop
fucking in their
bothering
back
you.
Stop fucking in my back passage.
Be emissaries of free love and take it to the Vestani people.
Yeah.
Do the
Teach them the
Vestani
ways.
want free love? They usually shun us.
Yeah, those guys are dicks, which is why you gotta make them see the love.
I mean, Mary over there got herself gilded when she went last to them.
Oh,
Like
man.
covered in gold.
No, Karen.
Gilded, I
Gilded.
think.
If you don't know what gilded is, I ain't telling you, Karen. That's why
Okay.
she's now Mary.
Don't go and see the Vestani. Go deeper
Yeah.
into the forest and leave the winery alone.
Yeah,
Should
start
we
like
go
a,
to the swampland?
Yeah.
start like
Yeah.
a swampland fuck colony.
Yeah.
Okay. They all sort
Oh,
of
that'd be like
pick each other up and begin to head towards the swampland.
the swamp would be like the worst place to have an orgy.
Mosquitoes.
It would be like sticky and just like slimy.
That's not our problem.
And that's not normal for an orgy, Karen?
No, but like slimier and stickier and with more frogs.
I like how frogs disgust you more.
Look, frogs have no place in an orgy.
It's like my dad said.
Just like Grandpapa Noel always said.
As my grandpappy said upon his deathbed, get that frog or that orgy.
That's how my mum was made.
I'm gonna wait for the fire to burn down and then recover the stone.
Okay. As the train begins to sort of stop flailing around and basically just incinerates, you find a quite large, very clear, very cold gem. It's about the size of Tubbs's head.
Ooh.
So,
Might-
I mean, that's probably worth like a lot of money.
Might I suggest we wrap it up because this thing links to another gem and I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't really trust it that much. We should probably keep it as far away from anyone and not share it.
Tubbs
Have
is
a
gonna
little
remove his black robe and wrap the gem up in the black robe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty magical. We don't want it falling into the wrong hands right now.
Exactly. So let's go back to the farm and tell them we might have solved the issue.
Yeah, but we won't give them the gem or anything.
No, we'll just say there were a bunch of hippies and we got them to move on, and they might have been poisoning the land. We don't know.
Yeah.
And maybe they should like dig up the garden.
Yeah, go and dig it all up and see if there's anything left in the garden, I guess.
So you return to the winery. Are you leaving the gem on the cart?
Tubbs is gonna carry it in a backpack, or like a satchel.
Truly outrageous.
Okay. As you tell the family about what's going on, you notice that anywhere near where Tubbs stands, the vines seem significantly stronger.
Huh.
Like, the grapevines seem significantly stronger.
So I'm gonna like stand a bit away from Tubbs.
Yeah, I'm gonna experiment. I'm gonna go and stand near some vines and kind of see.
As you stand near the vines, whatever vines you stand near seem to grow exponentially faster, and they seem to bear fruit a lot faster as well.
Now, what's this guy's name again?
Marketov.
Marketov. I've got a question for you about something you said earlier on.
Yes?
You said on Monday you went and got Monday's like crop, and on Wednesday you got how long does it take these plants to bloom?
Oh, they usually
Before.
bloom very quickly. Like, a turnaround can be a couple of days. That's how we can sustain the whole county with wine.
Right, you know that's abnormal as fuck, right? Trust me,
Is
I'm a
it?
farmer. Yeah, I mean these things should grow like once a year.
Oh, we've been having like batches every week for months.
Well, I've
years,
got
generations even.
good news for you.
Yes.
I think I can solve your wine crisis, but I'm gonna need something in return.
In exchange, we want like free wine for life.
Free wine for life.
I mean, basically that, yeah. A couple of cases a week isn't going to put you off if I can start everything growing back again, right?
Well, suppose not, but how are we going to get this wine to you? I mean, are you going to set up an office?
We
have an office.
We'll leave a forwarding address.
Forwarding address, okay.
We can get Edmund to ferry it.
Yeah.
Our good man Edmund.
Edmund,
like
the
a
constant
he's like
farrier
our
of wine.
assistant.
Now, I need you to go back inside, because what I'm going to do is a secret ritual known only to halfling farmers from where I come from. But then you can come out in like 10 minutes.
They sort of look at you quite suspicious, but go, oh, okay.
Cool. I'm going to turn to the gang once again and go, right, this orb makes shit grow super fast. And I feel like we can't in good conscience take it with us. Because, you know, this is their entire livelihood. And also, I think we might have just scored free wine for life.
Maybe we should have asked for like their daughter to marry Ozmand. He seems quite smitten.
Hey, no, I don't want to be tied down. I'm just,
Easy breezy, I believe they say. So, everyone get a good look at this gem. Memorize all the shit you can, because I'm going to need to research what it is. But I'm going to bury it back in the ground. Can I go to the field which they pointed out had been like wrecked and look to see if something had been dug up? Like look signs that something's been dug up somewhere.
Yep.
Meg, can I use your pro eyes as well?
Yes.
I'm looking for somewhere where this could have been dug up. Because I can't see shit.
No.
Nope.
I can help. I
The
actually
two of
have
you
help.
look around and
Perception and
you
forwarding.
think that the family must have covered back over if there had been any holes.
There must be something. They don't see anywhere they might have dug this up.
Why not just like stick it in the center of the field?
Osmond, while sort of looking to try and find where it could have fallen, tells you he may have found it, and he points behind you where there's this massive fucking hole.
Hey guys. Hole.
Yeah, no, Oz, sorry, we're busy trying to track a hole.
That's fine. Just give me the gem a second.
No, I mean, wait, why? Are you, fine, well, I was going to hand it to him.
Yeah, you
I'm
can
going
use
to
both
leave
hands
Meg.
then to look for this hole.
Meg, you come with me.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's probably about 400 meters or so that way. Given the triangulation between here and the tree end,
Are you sure?
I reckon if we go this way for about 200 meters, we should find it. I'm going to start walking in the opposite direction.
Hey Tubbs, why don't you take like a few steps back?
What, to get a good idea, can I get a better
If you want to
view?
get a run up if you're going that far.
Good point. I'm going to start walking backwards.
Okay, roll to see if you fall in the hole.
We've all seen my rolls. I'm going to fall in that hole.
You fall into the
Me
hole.
as well.
Oh.
Well done, Tubbs, you found the hole.
I think I found it with some good investigation.
I chucked the gem down to him.
I'm going to
So Tubbs
not
is
like
now in a
fully throw it at
6
him,
foot
but, you
deep
know,
hole.
I'm going to bury it. And can I suggest that we leave Noel Edmonds here to A, bring our wine, but also B, to kind of keep an eye on this spot and make sure no one comes and takes the gem again?
Yeah. I'm in agreement with
So
that.
are you going to
Yeah.
tell them that Edmonds has to stay here?
Yep.
He's
Edmund-
our agent he's our man in Havana.
And he's
Yeah.
gonna...
He's the personal bodyguard.
I feel
Yeah,
like the
that's-
mystery wagon is probably stands out,
Ed-
so he can probably hear rumors about where it is to deliver them.
Yeah.
Edmonds is sort of pointing, and he sort of does a sort of drinking gesture, and he points at himself enthusiastically.
Absolutely. Crack on.
He basically isn't trying to tell you, does he get free wine too?
Oh, of
Yes,
course.
Edmund, you get
Yeah.
through wine. You're one of us, ain't you?
But if something happens here, no more wine for you, and you'll get cut off and probably thrown out. And you saw what happened, or did Edmund see what happened?
He got rejected
He
from
sort of does a sort of gesture of a finger going into a hole.
Yes.
it. Exactly.
We'll send you to the Oja swamp.
Exactly. We've put it. You're right. We put the gem into the hole, and you need to make sure it stays there.
Yep.
Yes.
Good.
And if anything happens, find us, tell us, and we'll come back.
Yes. And also, they'll be sending us a crate of wine. I would say 1 crate from every batch. That seems fair. So just kind of deliver it as and when you can.
Yeah,
He's
we'll roll
sort of-
back through at some point.
He salutes very badly, and then begins to head inside.
So
Cool.
is the plan to then wait in town until there's a batch of wine to visit the
I mean,
homunculus?
by the sound of it, it should only be a couple of days. So we could always
Yeah.
live here for a couple of days and keep an eye. and then when we get the wine, go.
We'll set up like a PO box in every town.
Yeah. Good idea.
So what
Cool.
you're saying is you want a crate of wine delivered to every PO box in every town?
No.
Just on the off
Oh,
chance.
just one in every town. God,
Yeah.
don't be silly.
Right, so we're going to explain this plan to the people.
Okay. Although they aren't that happy about having to lose that much wine, they're very happy that they can at least get their business back.
I mean, it's not that much wine when you're producing a new batch every 2 days.
They tell you it'll be a lot more if you can find the other gem.
Are you kidding?
Or even the third gem if you find it.
Ah,
James. There was some secret.
yeah, how did you know about the gems?
Well, when you talk about it, they say that if that was the case for growing that one, then there must be 2 others because there was 2 other types of grape grown.
Ah. Can I recommend you grow the holy stuff?
Well, we can only grow the type that's planted
Oh,
with
okay.
the
Cool.
one type seems to only grow in one field very well. So
I
We'll,
see.
we'll keep an eye out for those other gems.
Yeah.
The bell tolls. The end is nigh. For this week, at least. Join us again next week for more of our tale. This podcast is an adaptation of Curse of Strahd, a 5th edition D&D adventure. It was adapted from the original story by Nikoli Popsky. The podcast features Nikoli, Amy, Belry, AJ, Lexa, and Matt. All music was written and performed by Daniel Boström. Artwork was by John Moore.
So tell me, are you actually a Geordie?
Not really. Why I pet?
I can't do that either.
It's Y-I.
why I bet?
Why I pet?
Y-I.
Why I
pet.
Right.
And that's, if you say that in Newcastle, then that's just all you need to say in Newcastle.
Cool.
Did you see the guy? It was the world's first full penis and scrotum transplant.
Oh my god, yes, we talked about the work today, and then we died for about half an hour. Because, do you remember that documentary we did? So we died because everyone was laughing for like a million years. Because we're thinking about, you know that documentary they did? Where like some guy's son died, and then this guy went on a road trip across America to meet the guy whose heart, like who's...
Oh, the transplant.
Yeah.
Where
Oh,
there's
yeah.
And it was like, oh my god, I can hear his heart. We were like, what if they did one for that? It's like, Janet's travelled halfway across the country to meet Mike, who's received her husband's penis. Do we want to make like a hierarchy in case Alan Shearer comes out and support Trump as well?
I thought, is Alan Shearer not dead?
No.
We need some sort of system just in case any of these celebrities,
Okay,
comes out and
Dear
support.
Carol Vorderman, you are now 12th in line for the Curse of Penance throne.
oh, it needs to be written on like official Curse of Penance stationery as
It
well.
needs to be written on a napkin in crayon.
Or Lorraine Kelly. Hers.
Natalie and
Lorraine
Brilliant. Why
Kelly's
didn't I
a
pick
cunt.
Natalie and Brilliant instead of...
Is Lorraine Kelly the one off Loose Women who's always on like panel shows?
I don't know.
Fuck knows.
And she's Scottish.
Probably.
Yeah. I know
If she's got the generic Scottish accent, then it's Lorraine Kelly.
Generic accent is a terrible tool to narrow anyone down.
Hello there, I am Lorraine Kelly, and I'm going to talk really enthusiastically.
That's a pretty
Fucking
solid
You also
definition.
have a lisp.
Right, so
Lorraine
there's
Kelly.
I'm going to make a joke, and then we'll put the music over it. Like, when he makes a really inappropriate joke because a man's just died.
That's the yeah bit.
Yeah.
Let me say this in a parlance you might understand, Karen. Librarian has tons of paper.
Well, then why don't we get going? Why didn't you say so, mate?
I thought you wanted to get your hole, so. Let's go.
I think I'm dead.
Did you think Karen wanted to get her hole this week?
Well, you said it was the end of Act 1. We needed a big closer.
I felt like she ended like one of the cast mysteriously dies. Karen and Tubbs stare across the body. Their hands meet.
Sorry if I've just killed everyone.
No, that's fine. It's fine.
I meant died in a good way.
A little death.
You died, but in a good way.
I
So,
feel like I'm going to hell now.
Just once I'd like to record a podcast with Belry where he doesn't end up wearing a skin.
Right, I'm not wearing it. Tubbs is making it into an ornament.
how he's gonna woo Karen?
It's beautiful.
Through some fine necro furniture.